Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are St. Louis.
This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball from Busch Stadium in St. Louis. A beautiful night. The Milwaukee Brewers are here. And the Brewers have been dominated by St. Louis since 2012. The Cardinals are 33-17 against this familiar foe. Fox Sports 1 has exclusive coverage of the Division Series of the National League. Who will be there as we take a look at the playoff picture? The Cardinals 3.5 in front of Pittsburgh. They are 5 in front of Milwaukee. And along with Rick Horton, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Delighted to have you with us for baseball tonight on Fox Sports Midwest, and this should be an entertaining series.
Yeah, we've been looking forward to this series for a long time. At the time, the Cardinals were chasing Milwaukee. Now it's the other way around. I expect this to be a high-energy series, and we're certainly going to see very good pitching.
That means Lance Lynn going tonight. Lynn against Willie Peralta. Peralta, one of the hardest throwers in the game today. The Brewers, the Cardinals, coming up tonight. Over the weekend, we saw hitting and very good pitching. That pitching, hopefully for the Cardinals, continues beginning tonight with two pitchers, by the way, that have been dominant since 2012 against the National League at home. Lance Lynn, Adam Wainwright. What do we know about Lynn going tonight?
Well, Lynn has really gotten comfortable with his delivery. He's been good at home this season. A 9-3 record, ERA of 2.47, and he has been straight to the plate, pounding the zone. The Cardinals playing very good baseball at Busch Stadium.
Lance Lynn, 15-9. The hard thrower. Willie Peralta, 16-10. NL Central battle. First pitch comes your way next. Budweiser, designated driver, and enjoy the great times. Come in and visit Mid-American Chevy dealers and make your move to Chevrolet today. And by Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. The National League Central Division, Pittsburgh 3.5 games out. Milwaukee, tonight's opponent, 5 games out without question. It's a must-win series, maybe a must-sweep series for Milwaukee.
And an important start for Lance Lynn. Most of the Cardinal starters will have 3 starts left, and Lance brings a 15-9 record. His career best was an 18-win season, but he has been, I think, better this year than he was that year 2 years ago.
Last time these two teams met, it was in Milwaukee. The Cardinals took 3 of 4, and the Brewers 1 game without Carlos Gomez and Ryan Braun in the lineup. Gomez missed the entire series, swinging for everything he's got, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
The opposite type leadoff hitter to Matt Carpenter is Carlos Gomez.
No true statement. Strike 2 on the outside corner. Matt Carpenter sees the second most pitches in all of Major League Baseball behind Mike Trout. And Carlos Gomez, a leadoff man with a cleanup hitter's power. 2-2. He's hit 21 home runs. He's driven in 69.
Dan, he has that kind of power, but he also has that kind of potential. He's just not kind of a guy that likes to swing. He connects. He's very, very good in that leadoff spot.
Nice start for Lance Lynn and the strikeout of Carlos Gomez. Since June, when Willie Peralta is on the mound, the Brewers have given him 7 runs of support in his starts. Will that carry over to tonight? Gomez, Jeanette, then Lucroy, Ramirez, Braun, and Parra, Clark, Segura, and Willie Peralta, the pitcher. It brings in Scooter Gennett, who had a very good series against the Cardinals last week. The fly ball lifted to right. There's John Jay. 2 down. Cardinals defense with Holiday in left, Peter Borges, the speedster, in center, and Jay is in right field. Carpenter and Peralta on the left side of the infield. Wong and Adams on the right side. Molina behind the plate. And Around the Horn is brought to you by Dobbs. Matt Adams is dealing with an oblique issue, but really wanted to be in the lineup tonight against Peralta.
A couple of days off. He went to Mike Matheny and insisted in, I would say, not a strong way, because Matt's not a strong personality type, but he was very clear about wanting to play today.
What is it about Lance Lynn? Why is he over the hump, and why has he become one of the better pitchers in the league?
I just think it's his delivery, number one, is much more sound. It's also simpler, and I think that's part of the reason it's more sound. Not a lot of top spinning, not a lot of pitches off the plate as we see there, and he's able to make that adjustment quicker. I think that's experience, but I also think he's learned to handle kind of the ebbs and flows of being a major league pitcher too, on the emotional side. And he's been able to harness that in a positive way.
1-2 on Jonathan Lucroy. The season, he's hitting .303. That's on the at home, on the road. But against St. Louis, just .207 his average against the Cardinals. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lucroy hits it out of play. Big crowd expected here tonight. The 1-2. Boy, that's nasty. Sinking down and into a right-handed hitter at 93 miles an hour.
2 different fastballs for Lynn. The fastball that rides up in the zone is typically around 95. That sinker around 93 with a lot of movement. And exactly what he's doing. A 2-seamer. You saw it. And it just bearing in on Lucroy. Fouls it off his foot. That's exactly what you want to do as a pitcher. It opens up the plate, Dan. You throw that sinker down and in. Then you kind of have the rising fastball away. And very difficult for a hitter to defend both sides of the plate.
2 outs, nobody on. The 1-2. Hit down the right field line and out of play. It was interesting that Jonathan Lucroy, after the series against the Cardinals, he said, quote, "The Cardinals always play us well, but I still believe we're better than they are. I do. All around, player for player matchups, I believe we are better." End quote.
I don't agree with him, but it doesn't bother me that he said that. And you almost think he should say that. And the Brewers need to think that. And if you don't think that coming into this series, you're in trouble. And I really expect the Brewers, Dan, to have high intensity in this series. And I think they are certainly embarrassed in some ways about their free fall, and they don't want to just go away quietly. And I think either they'll play well or they'll play mad, one of the two.
Base hit into right past the diving Colton Wong, and a 2-out hit for Lucroy. It's a 2-out hit, and it brings in Aramis Ramirez. In his career, 235 hits against the St. Louis Cardinals. However, he has had his issues against Lance Lynn. Makes you wonder, is he seeing too many breaking balls, because Lynn is primarily a fastball pitcher. Fastball high.
Just 2 for 21 against Lynn, and yes, I think there's something to that, because Lynn's going to throw a fastball a majority of the time. He does have a breaking ball and a changeup that he'll throw occasionally, but those numbers, the success he's had against Ramirez, you'd have to think, knowing Lance Lynn, that's primarily fastball. So Ramirez, perhaps too many breaking balls to him.
Out to left, Holiday is over and makes the catch on the run. Nice play. Matt Holliday gives it to a young man wearing that Holiday jersey. Cardinals coming up in the bottom of the first. Look at that reaction. Leadoff man Matt Carpenter was scoreless here in St. Louis, followed by Jay, then Holliday, who's been swinging that hot bat. Matt Adams, good to see him back in there. Then Johnny Peralta is on the cusp of history. More on that in a moment. Yadier Molina, Colt Wong, Peter Borges, and Lance Lynn. Hard-throwing right-handers had a good year, 16-10. Willie Peralta.
And when you say hard-throwing right-hander, you mean it. He's got one of the top fastballs in all of baseball. He averages close to 96 miles an hour, and that tells you touches even higher than that. And he has been good, as you mentioned, since June. He's gotten all that run support, and he has been a winner since then, 12-5, even though his ERA, Dan, has been 4.4 since then. So he actually pitched better early, but he's got the run support late, and the Brewers obviously need him to show up big here in Game 1.
There are 4 lefties in this lineup against Peralta, and left-handed batters are hitting .311 as you get a look at Ron Renneke. That's the highest against any nationally qualifier. Also, he's given up 14 home runs to lefties, tied for the most in the league with his teammate Marco Estrada. First pitch to Carpenter, taken for a strike. Such a patient leadoff hitter, Matt Carpenter. Only Mike Trout has seen more pitches in Major League Baseball this year than the Cardinal leadoff man.
There was some conversation early in the season when the Cardinals offense was struggling that maybe Matt Carpenter needed to go into that second spot. Second spot was not producing, or the third spot, move guys around. And Mike Matheny was steadfast, saying we need what he does on base percentage wise in that leadoff spot. We need Matt Carpenter there because he shines in that role, and you have to say that Mike's patience was probably a good thing.
I think there was many that thought Colt Wong would be the perfect leadoff man, maybe even a John Jay, the way that he swung the bat this year. 2-2. And Jay will hit second tonight.